The boss's daughter harassed me when I rejected her advances, eventually saying, "Useless employees get $1,000 a month tops." The manager told me not to take my decision to quit and join a competitor seriously after I sent in my resignation. Return here immediately. "Can you afford to pay me $10 million a year?" I asked him. I work for the corporation as W. Moore, and I'm 30 years old. I joined this organization 8 years ago after graduating from college. A product I created 3 years ago proved popular, and the business expanded quickly. Despite my busy schedule as the head of the development department, I like my life. I've gathered the supplies, Will. Would you kindly check them? Robert, my subordinate, gives me a hefty file. Despite his eccentricities, he is a driven individual. Many thanks. You know what, Will? Thus, Robert's rumors begin to circulate once more. What about the boss's daughter? For some reason, Robert was whispering that he had recently joined the company, even though everyone would soon find out. Yes, I am aware. She started working in HR, correct? You're correct. HR must be struggling to deal with the boss's daughter. Maybe, but I doubt she'll bring personal matters into work. You never know, though. It might occur if the boss's daughter is involved. Frequently, President Jones boasted about his daughter. He gained notoriety for displaying her photo to staff members who came into his office. He will, however, undoubtedly maintain his personal and professional lives apart now that she has joined the company. It is unjust to pass judgment on her before she has even begun. Let's maintain our neutrality. By the way, thanks for the stuff. In an attempt to stop Robert from gossiping, I said this. That's when it occurred. A tall woman with long hair entered the room with President Jones. That was the same face I recognized from the picture on the president's desk. When the president said, "Excuse me," every employee got to their feet and said, "Good afternoon, sir. I apologize for disturbing your work. I would want to present my daughter. Say hello, Susan, please. My name is Susan Jones. I'll be working in the Human Resources Department as of today. Since I'm the boss's daughter, please don't treat me any differently. I want to be treated normally by everyone. Good to meet everyone." Despite the fact that she is a working adult, her father was following her about for her introduction. I retract my earlier statement that he is undoubtedly bringing personal issues to work. The future does not appear bright. The two of them came to my desk as I listened to Susan's too beautiful voice, fearing what was about to happen. "Susan, this is Will, the one who developed that product our company is famous for. It's good to meet you. My name is Will. Whoa, it was developed by someone as young and gifted as you. Working with you is such an honor. I am excited about it." Susan resigned from her previous position due to disagreements with her coworkers. Being the boss's daughter and having such a gorgeous face makes jealousy inevitable. "Stop it, Papa." Susan responded, "That's embarrassing," but she didn't appear overly upset. Doesn't she sense how uncomfortable everyone is becoming around her? These two. Therefore, please treat her with kindness. Will, you know I'm counting on you. Sure. How about tonight's welcome party? You proceed to make the arrangements. What? The president abruptly assigned Robert, who yelled in surprise. Tonight? I apologize, but finding a spot at such short notice. Additionally, many individuals won't be able to make it if you notify them the day of. Just claim that the president has given the order. There are several locations around. You'll find one if you put forth enough effort. It all comes down to willpower. Simply do it. I'm grateful, Papa. I'm excited for tonight, everyone. When Susan and the president had gone, Robert put down his work and looked about desperately for somewhere to go. He even persuaded the hesitant employees and attracted additional volunteers. Because to Robert's efforts, a respectable number of individuals attended the impromptu welcoming party that evening at a respectable location. Susan spoke. You might assume I'm not excellent at my job since I'm the boss's daughter. To be clear, I am capable of doing my task. Please trust me. I believe I'm even better than the other HR staff. Thank you. The HR staff appeared tense, and the room went quiet. Everything was about to blow up. Someone was going to say something at this pace. All right, everyone, let's give her a round of applause. Robert, aware of the stress, attempted to ease the situation by eliciting cheers. A few arid claps ensued. Now, may we have a toast, Mr. President? Get your glasses, everyone. Robert was making a valiant effort to maintain the momentum. Robert was the only one perspiring despite the air conditioning making the room extremely cold. The poor fellow. Totally carefree, the president lifted his glass. All right, let's try our hardest going forward. Happy Susan's arrival to the company. A toast. The sound of glasses clinking reverberated hollowly in the uneasy mood. People broke up into smaller groups after the celebration started, and it appeared that they were enjoying themselves. The first person to commend Robert was myself. You performed admirably. It was difficult enough to find the location and gather everyone, but to start the party with that uncomfortable feeling. You did a good job. I swear, I started to perspire when I saw those HR staff members' faces. My thought was, something's going to go down. Yes, without exaggeration. Why she didn't fit in at her previous positions now makes clear. Exactly, no way that would have gone well. Susan came up as we were conversing. She said to Robert, "Would you mind giving me your seat?" "Oh, sure. Go ahead." "Hold on a minute. I couldn't say that, but I'm clearly not comfortable with this." Thus, my only option was to give Robert a bitter glance as he left. I didn't get to do more than say hello earlier, so I hope you don't mind me sitting next to you. Susan sat beside me after taking her glass. Let's have a proper toast. I was forced to pick up my glass and give hers a gentle clink because Susan was so insistent. So, Will, do you have a girlfriend? That was quite abrupt. I unintentionally expressed my thoughts. That's a bit sudden, don't you think? Well, that's what I'm most interested in. Do you then? Have you got one? No. Unfortunately, I don't. That's not unfortunate. That's super lucky for me. What? I'm not dating at the moment either. Finding a partner and getting married was something I was only beginning to consider. And what does that have to do with me? I'm delighted to have joined my dad's business. I never thought I'd run into such a wonderful man. I believe I'll introduce myself as a potential girlfriend. I can't wait to get to work tomorrow. Does she really like me, I wonder? A surge of fear overcame me, and I downed my beer all at once. People began dispersing as the welcoming party came to an end, with some going to karaoke and others to another party. I made the decision to depart after the first party and went outside the venue because I had an early morning the next day. Then Susan came up to me once more. After this, Will, what are you doing? While everyone is off to karaoke, how about we get a drink together in a quiet place? Aren't you going home with your dad? Papa was sent home early by me. Now is the moment for the youth. Let's go, please. I looked around desperately for a reason to refuse her. In fact, tomorrow morning I have an early meeting with a client. I can't be late because they insisted on that hour. I'm leaving for home to get ready. Susan didn't seem to question me, even though it was a desperate falsehood. As anticipated, Will is constantly occupied. I suppose I'll go home as well. Going to the after party without you is pointless. Want to ride in a taxi together? No, I'm doing fine. I'll take one of the trains that are still in operation. But thanks. Enjoy your evening. Almost running, I made my way to the station. I'm fatigued. Man, more so than from work. When I boarded the train and took a seat, I suddenly felt exhausted. I nearly missed my stop, so I must have fallen asleep. In a panic, I leaped from the train just in time. Susan came over as soon as I got to work the following day. Good morning, Will. Good morning. After lying to her the day before, I felt a little uncomfortable. Are you free this evening? What about dinner? Sorry, I have a meeting with a client tonight. I thought of another untruth in a moment. Will, You're quite busy both during the day and at night. I'll try again, but that's terrible. Susan then walked out of the room. Will, it looks like the boss's daughter genuinely likes you. After yesterday, what were you up to? Me? I attended karaoke. You ought to have shown up. What did you do in the end, Will? I had to use all of my strength to decline the boss's daughter's invitation to a bar. You were gone when I looked for you for assistance, so I had to go away on my own. Sounds like she's really into you. Is that so? Isn't it clear? She's sufficiently attractive, so it's not too horrible, isn't it? However, let's put her personality aside for the time being. Her character? I don't know. If she's just innocent and happy, that's okay, but more for the benefit of everyone else than for me. Yeah, I really hope that's the case. However, Susan's terrible personality proved that our expectations were in vain. In addition to being lazy at work and abusing her position as the boss's daughter, she openly harassed the female employees who were well liked by the male staff. Some workers had even approached their managers to express their want to resign due to her. Since she was the boss's daughter, I wasn't sure at first if this was simply people assuming things, but one day I saw it for myself. Hey, you're Jennifer, correct? Why are you wasting your time flirting with the guys when you're so ineffective at your job? You ought to be working if you have the time for that. You don't get paid for flirting with men. My dad compensates you for your work. You're a nuisance, so quit if you're not going to perform your duties. I could tell it was Susan because of the setting. I couldn't tell who it was because the other person wasn't speaking. Why are you wearing such gaudy attire? Why have you come here at all? They don't fit you at all, so it doesn't really matter. Did you even glance in the mirror? She was ignoring her own actions while shouting some quite harsh things. Shall I intervene and assist? The door to the locker room swung open as I was thinking that, and Jennifer hurried out. We looked at each other for a moment. She had tears in her eyes, and they were crimson. After a brief moment of astonishment, she greeted me and sprinted away. Susan appeared as though nothing had happened a few seconds later, grinned at me, and remarked, "Well done today. Isn't the weather lovely?" Then she turned to leave. It dawned on me then that all the things people were saying about Susan were accurate. However, Susan had no regard for her reputation. I questioned whether she would make another attempt to ask me out today. She has been requesting to go out to eat or hang out on the weekends almost daily lately, but I have consistently turned her down. I sincerely hope she realizes how annoying it is. Susan returned as the conclusion of the workday drew near. You must accompany me out. I'll be really disappointed if you reject me once more. I let out a soft sigh to myself. This will continue indefinitely if I don't politely decline her. She is the boss's daughter, so I had been hesitant, but I made the decision to confront her. I apologize, Susan. I'm having a great time at work right now, and I'm not interested in dating anyone. I can't see you by yourself outside of work because I don't think I'll be with you when the time comes. I'm sorry. After truly apologizing, I turned to face Susan. She was shaking and her face was flushed with fury. I understand. I guess you're not as good as the other people in this firm as I believed. In any case, I no longer give a damn. She murmured this while still shaking, then turned abruptly and left. It was obvious that Robert, who had been observing from a distance, had heard us. I believe you went too far, Will. She was furious. This could be harmful. It's better to be clear than to leave things half-hearted, right? Dude, I have no idea. Don't hold me responsible for whatever occurs next. Avoid saying such ominous things. Nothing will occur, will it? However, Robert was correct to be concerned. Susan began to bother me the following day. Will, are you here? Yes. This invoice isn't going to be approved. Why not? Why? Since I stated so. Is that even a valid reason? She asked something along these lines one day. Will, did you do something to Jennifer from HR? She says she wants to stop, and I've seen you make her cry in the past. Well, wasn't that you? I nearly spoke, but I restrained myself. Arguments are pointless. She is free to continue the harassment as retaliation or to disseminate falsehoods. I will continue to perform my duties. However, I eventually hit my breaking point one day. Do you really think this kind of high expense will get approved? New initiatives on one of our primary goods require it. Kindly give it your approval. Don't become arrogant because you created a single thing. Without that thing, this business can function perfectly. That's why these expenses are necessary, to make it even better. Oh please, you're most likely just going out partying with that money while using product development as an excuse. It sounds like the behavior of an inept worker. We don't need someone like you around anymore, in my opinion. I'll retain you, albeit at a reduced salary. Is that your opinion? My dad's opinion is my opinion. Your monthly compensation has increased to $1,000. Think of it as a presidential decision. I get it. After that, I went to the president's office and took out the resignation letter I had kept in my drawer. The door was knocked on. Yes, that is Will. Enter. Pardon me. Keep it brief because I'm leaving shortly. What are you in need of? Susan is at issue. She has been bugging me for some time, but today she wouldn't authorize the product development costs. Furthermore, she referred to me as an inept worker and stated that I would receive $1,000 per month. The president yawned loudly as I was speaking. Is that all? It's gibberish, so don't take it seriously. It's not absurd. This occurs nearly daily. It has an impact on my job. Can you stop it? Stop it? You want me to fire my daughter as president? No, I'm requesting that you put an end to her abuse of me. She is harassing several staff, so it's not just me. Since she was a little child, Susan has been free-spirited. Her charm lies in that. Deal with it. Don't take it personally. This is pointless. He isn't even listening. I was expecting a serious statement from you. Susan isn't wholly incorrect, but the thing you created is fantastic. After saying those things to me, the president walked out of the room. I put my resignation letter on the desk after observing him leave. Susan's picture remained prominently placed on his desk as usual. I have to stop putting up with this. In actuality, I had been the target of a competitor company's recruitment efforts for the previous 6 months. The offer, which was a $10 million yearly pay, was much better than my existing circumstances. I was tempted by the offer, but I was hesitant because I thought I would be betraying my coworkers with whom I had grown the business. However, I made up my mind today. I had left the company that was owned and operated by that father and daughter. Will, calm down. I am calm. Please don't quit. Sorry, but I've reached my limit. Robert and a few other supervisors, coworkers, and subordinates attempted to stop me as I was leaving the office, but I was adamant. I went to visit the competing company that had been hiring me the following day. My phone rang at that very moment. President appeared on the screen. He must have panicked when he saw my letter of resignation on his desk this morning. I considered ending the call right away, but I decided it would be immature, so I responded. Hello. Will, what is this? Are you talking about what was on your desk? Yes. What is this? It was clear even though he was asking. As you can see, it's my resignation letter. I am aware of that. Why are you leaving? I believe I explained it to you yesterday. I heard Susan said some things, but I told you not to take it seriously, didn't I? It makes no difference if it was the truth or a falsehood. I'm leaving this company because I'm simply tired of it. You are aware of the consequences leaving will have on the business, aren't you? Product improvements will stall, we'll lose the majority of our revenue, and it will be difficult to develop new goods. Quit babbling and return immediately. The president was frantically attempting to stop me, but his words were all over the place. It's you who's spouting gibberish. After all of this, what are you saying now? I'm not returning. If you go to that other company, they'll just use you. I'm going there to make sure they don't use me. They'll entice you with charming words, make promises, and then abandon you. In the end, you will be used cheaply. The president was not going to back down. They're offering me $10 million a year. $10 million. On the other end of the line, I could feel him getting cold. You're correct. The offer is $10 million every year with a yearly guarantee. What say you? Are you able to match that? I'd like to remain if you can. The president remained quiet for some time. I have to leave. I'm going to the other business. I'm grateful for everything. Hold on. I'll pay the $10 million. All right. We'll see it through. Simply return. From now on, each year. That's going to be tough, isn't it? Yes, each year. I swear, every year. I will be sure to obtain it in writing, even though his reaction lacked confidence. I get it. You'll return then? Fantastic. Then return here right away. I hastily added a second criterion. He was gravely incorrect if he believed that money was the sole problem. No, there's one more condition I need you to agree to. Don't you think $10 million is enough? Are you really asking for more now? There was a noticeable hint of fury in the president's voice. Yes, I won't return if you disagree. You're quite brave. All right. What is it? Let it out. I want your daughter, Susan, to be placed under my supervision. Susan, beneath you. As my immediate subordinate, yes, and that's irreversible. I'll always be superior to her. Susan will continue to be my subordinate as long as she works for this company. Exactly. And regardless of anything you say to stop me, I'll depart permanently this time if she doesn't comply with my instructions. The president went silent once more. Let's not expect me to come back if that's excessive. I'll be heading out. Hold on. Wait, please. I really should discuss this with Susan first. Is that required? The president is you. All you have to do is deliver the command. I'm sorry if you can't do that. All right. I'll follow your instructions. You will report to Susan. I'll see to it that she hears you. Everything was grudgingly approved by the president, so I went back to my previous role. I went to the competitor's business to respectfully turn down their offer. Everyone welcomed me back to work when I was a little late. Were you planning to abandon me? That is really unjust. Will nearly appeared to be crying. I came back, didn't I? I was so anxious, I couldn't even sleep, wondering what I'd do next. Come to think of it, there was an earthquake around 1 a.m. There was? I was completely unaware of it. You were asleep, weren't you? Yes, indeed. More significantly, though, why did you return? Were you persuaded by the president? Yeah, I laid out a few conditions, though. What kind of conditions? I won't say it to you. However, here's a hint. The president's daughter will be employed here. This is it. Within this division. That's right. Really? Absolutely not. Working with someone like her is not something I want to do. Why did you impose that requirement? Don't be concerned. Since I will be in charge of her, I won't let her do as she pleases. I understand. You made that requirement for that reason. I'm still a little anxious, though. Susan then began working as my subordinate on that day. Send this out in the company email. What? Why don't you do it on your own? What was that? Susan abruptly changed her tone when I gave her a stern look. Oh, nothing. I'll see to that. It appears like she had a proper conversation with the president. By the end of the day, gather these materials. Have Robert look them over when you're finished. I don't believe I need someone to proofread my work. I'm capable of doing it flawlessly, most likely much better than Robert. A close man named Robert rolled his eyes. I'm the one giving you the instructions here. Robert gave me an exaggerated nod of agreement when I stated that. Understood, said Susan grudgingly. I didn't hesitate to give Susan assignments. With all the work, she was most likely, no, she was definitely, quite busy. Susan gradually began to calm down because she had no time to harass others. The working mood was gradually calming down. Jennifer, who sobbed as she left the locker room that day, remained employed at HR. We occasionally talk, and I'm happy to see that she's smiling again. Our year-end celebration is today. I haven't had drinks with everyone in a long time. Will, thank you so much for what you did. Really, it's nothing. I simply think that things are happier in the office now. That's not because of me, is it? Is that correct? I've heard a rumor regarding the requirements you imposed for returning. Robert sat in front of me, and I gave him a sneer. He picked up his drink, turned his head away, and left. I wanted to know why you would impose such a requirement. It just makes things more difficult for you, isn't it? Never would I do that. However, I've now come to the realization that it was for everyone else. Is that what you think? Yes. Now everyone is grinning. Thank you. The company's entire vibe has altered. I understand. I'm happy if that's the case. I suppose I will forgive Robert for his chattering. The business remains successful, most likely as a result of the improved lighting and ease of task completion. My subordinates were busier than ever when I was appointed to section manager. Isn't this due today? And tomorrow is the day for that one. I've already completed the tasks you assigned yesterday. Although Susan appeared to be busy than everyone, everything was done for the prosperity and peace of the business. She would need to continue working hard, and to be honest, her attitude had improved significantly since joining.